Welcome, my beautiful souls, and welcome, Pisces. This is going to be a reading for Pisces, and those intuitively guided for February 2025. Um, this is for Pisces Sun, Moon, Rising, those intuitively guided. Thank you for paying attention to your intuition. And I say that because I read through my spirit guides, and my guides connect to your guides. And that's why sometimes, you may feel called to a reading and you're not even sure if you have that sign, like in your chart. Just trust that your spirit guides will get a message to you some way, somehow. And many times it is through the reading. You could certainly be in love with the Pisces. I mean, come on. Um, Platonically, romantically. Sam, my boyfriend's son, Justin is February 26th. And I know a few of you share his birthday. So anyways, happy birthday to those celebrating, even if you're an Aquarius here. Happy birthday to you. Let's go ahead and get into your reading. I brought a lot of cards out, so I'm going to tell you right now, it's not going to be a short reading, but it's just the way I feel like it needs to be. We're not going to put any limits on it whatsoever. Whatever it wants to be, whatever our guides want us to see and hear, I am open to it. I'm open to their guidance for you. So, what I would do before you watch a reading, just take a moment, just calm your mind. And again, feel free to ask your guides to give you signs of confirmation. I feel like when you watch a reading, you should feel it. Like you should feel the energy exchange, because that's really what it is. Um, but you can certainly ask for signs like numbers, names, what have you. Um, whatever you decide, whatever you and your spirit guides decide. So, something new we're starting is, or not that we're starting, but another number that I think is good for everyone to know is your angel number. Um, what messages do your angels have for you regarding this lifetime? And it's really easy to calculate. You just literally just add your birthday, the month, the day, and the year. Um, I got lotion in my nails. You just add it all together. So straight across. And um, whatever that number is would be your angel number. So I just feel like my angel number is 11. It's something I didn't even know. I don't know what made me look it up, but I did. And I was like, oh, it just feels so fitting. I think, no, yeah, my master. Wait, what is 22? I also have a 22. Oh, my personal year number is 22. So angel number 11, master number 11 for my life path, and 22 for this year. It's the master builder. And I have a lot I want to build this year, so it's fitting. This is why I always tell you, like, look up um, certain parts of your numerology. I feel like, especially your life path, it can tell you so much about what's going on in your life. Know your personal year number for each year. It just moves ahead by one every year. Um, so like, well, I'm just gonna say this year I'm in a 22, so I guess I'd move to a 33 next year. But anyways, let's go ahead and open this reading. So I brought out a few decks. I brought out the Clarifying Love Situations. This is a deck I haven't used that often, but I am using it more and more and kind of loving it. So it'll probably have a regular place in our readings now. I brought out the Romance Angels. So if love comes up, we're definitely going to cover it. We are going to use the major arcanas again. These are for bullet points. I love the messages they bring. Before we even begin, um, the main deck or the main spread, we'll use them first. We shall use the Gilded Tarot to clarify, really to go deeper. I consider these life readings, so it should really cover all areas of your life. But try to listen with your spiritual ears. Remember that you are a spiritual being having human experiences, not the other way around. You're not a human being having spiritual experiences. You're already a spiritual being, and you're using this body as your vehicle in this lifetime. Um, so, why I brought that up right now, I don't know. Mother Mary is what we will start with, so let's go ahead, bring the lid down. Um, I'm bummed out. I bought those lights. You can barely see them over the blankets now. I had them all up there, and I got quite a deal on them. It was like $8, and you got 12 strings. Well, they lasted less than a month. I mean, I could get new batteries, but I just have to say they were junk. Um, but I miss them. All right, Mother Mary, beautiful words of wisdom for Pisces and those intuitively guided. We are officially opening up this reading. Got a few, and they all came face up. Wow. Okay. I feel like there's two cards there. Boundaries. Boundaries. Interesting. I just did a special love reading for Virgo, and they got boundaries. And I am doing opposite signs. Oh, I just realized that Virgo is your opposite sign. So it's interesting. I did Virgo. Now I'm doing you. Hmm. So anyways, boundaries. I am clear and honest with others about my expectations. You're just being honest. Integrity. I trust my ability to know what is true for me. I trust my ability to know what is true for me. And then self-respect. I honor and love myself through my healthful actions. Interesting. Boundaries, integrity, self-respect. Feels like it's building you up. It feels like something new is about to present itself. And it's like Mother Mary is getting you ready. You know, First of all, I feel like knowing that whatever is coming your way, I already feel it, that you deserve it. And I mean it as blessings. Blessings aren't miracles. They're well earned. And I do feel miracles coming in. Or again, what feels like miracles. I'm not going to say there's not actual miracles. There are. Um, but I feel like our blessings really, it's like good karma coming back to us. So, boundaries, just knowing, it's like knowing what you want and what you don't want. And anyone who tries to cross that line, it's like, no, thank you. Remember, we're in a universal year 9. This is the final push to a 9-year cycle. This is the final push to clear away the cobwebs, to open up to whatever is new, whatever new wants to begin, whether it be love, work. I just feel like something's coming. Something's coming, and I feel like Mother Mary is preparing you. And I really feel the way she's preparing you is letting you know that you really do deserve these blessings, what's ever coming your way. So it does feel like it's going to be something good. All right. go ahead and bring in the major arcanas. Anybody who's new, first of all, welcome to our beautiful soul family. And that's how I see you all, as my soul family. You know, when I do your reading, in my mind's eye, you're all sitting right around me. Um, but what I was going to say is I always pre-shuffle the cards and then give it a little shuffle with you here also. So, major arcana. Look how everything's coming out. First of all, face up and in blocks. All right. Hello, Fool. Hello, new beginning. Hello, taking a leap of faith. You know, the Fool has put the past behind him, doesn't carry any of the heavy energy. You know, your past is it becomes your wisdom, and the Fool knows this. The Fool travels very lightly. You don't need to carry all that weight of the past. You know, in the Fool's knapsack, I feel are the tools that are needed for this new journey. You know, think about the magician. That's what the magician teaches the Fool. Like you already possess everything you need to be successful on this new journey. So something new is opening up. Fool's looking right back at Mother Mary, like, I hear you. Well, look at that. So there is the Fool's first mentor along this journey. And I even see the High Priestess, which is the second mentor. So again, you know, the ability to manifest and knowing that you can manifest. The magician's looking right at the Fool. We have the Chariot, unlimited potential. You know, balance is needed. And remember, when you see the Chariot, it's about your seeds of intention. That's what makes the Chariot move. So don't put any limited beliefs or ideas on the Chariot. You'll just weigh it down. Look at the beautiful rainbow behind it. I like what I'm seeing so far, I have to tell you. Feels quite powerful. We have beautiful judgment, your spiritual team. And what are they doing? They're calling you to the present moment. Why? There's about to be a rebirth. Well, we know that because the Fool's the very first card. And then the High Priestess, the Fool's second mentor. The High Priestess teaches the Fool that I am your GPS in this lifetime. You know, when you get in your car and you travel somewhere new, what do you use? Your GPS, right? I mean, back in the day we used maps, but now we use our GPS. Well, your intuition is the same. It helps guide you, and learning to really trust it. You know, it won't let you down. It's when we second guess it. Even though I'm not feeling that here, I'm really not. Um, the main thing I feel like is judgment saying that I do need your attention in the current energy, like in present day energy, because I am going to guide you. And chances are that guidance is coming through your intuition. That may be why I said try not to second guess it. I feel like you have everything you need, truly, to truly be successful on what, again, well, first of all, it feels like it's you manifesting, but it could also be your soul. And what I mean by that is I do feel like our souls did plant certain seeds before we even came into this lifetime. And we have to remember that we need to keep planting seeds so that we continue to have a harvest. You have a lot of powerful energy on the board. Excuse me, just want to resituate myself. All right. So we have two energies to talk about: being present, two energies to speak about a new beginning. But everything in this new beginning says that you're ready. The chariot being right in the middle does represent unlimited potential. So don't put any limits on your potential. Sometimes we start in a new journey and we feel like, well, I don't know that I know everything I need to know. Well, because I feel you're being guided, you don't need to know everything. You will learn as you go. That's just life, maybe even life lessons. But this feels like comfort to me for you. All right. So for your main spread, I don't know if I said this, we're going to use the light seers. First of all, I'm going to slide these over. So I'll probably take 5 across. And we have what? 5 above. All right. Give them a shuffle. Give them a cut. Grab a drink of coffee. Oh, 7 of Pentacles. It's interesting because I said that I felt some of you, these are certain seeds that are coming to fruition, but I did feel like some of them may have been planted before you even came into this lifetime. And maybe by judgment is really trying to get your attention. Um, because I do feel like, whatever happens in the 7 of Pentacles was meant to happen. It's like your tree of life. That's how I look at it. And I feel, well, the seeds are still below the ground, but normally you'll see like a tree that's filled with pentacles. And I feel like those are your soul seeds of intention. And I often relate it to like an apple tree, because the 7 of Pentacles, its first message is patience, but it's to allow something to become ripe, let's say. That's why I relate it to an apple tree. Like, I'm not going to pick an apple before it's ripe. Otherwise, it's just bitter. But I have to say, this makes me definitely feel like you are on a destined path right now. We have the King of Swords. King of Swords can be Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. Um, though it doesn't have to be. I love this image of this king because I feel like this king has climbed a mountaintop. And to me, that represents, like certain, let's just say, maybe even a cycle that this king has completed. This king climbed this mountain and is now claiming the mountaintop. I see this owl, sense of wisdom, coming under the magician, looking over to 7 of Pentacles. Look at him. I just realized he's good looking. Got his hair up in a man bun. His sword is down. No defensive energy here. He looks comfortable, but he also looks like he's ready for movement. This could be definitely this could be a clue. Someone who does challenge themselves, and then tends to reach those goals. And I feel like every time I reach a goal, I make the next challenge even more difficult. Now, this may be on a soul level, but I do feel that with this king, which I've never felt before. Um, it's like he's being patient, just as the 7 of Pentacles asks for patience. Okay, let's keep going. See who he is in your life. Yeah, he's coming under the magician. We have the Four of Pentacles under the Chariot, by the way. And we have the beautiful Knight of Wands. I love this image. Just carefree, right? She goes by the beat of her own drum. A knight normally means energy is coming in, and this knight carries a lot of passion, desire. It is action oriented, and is coming right below your spiritual team who's calling you to the present moment. So there may be some physical action that you need to take or human action. But again, it's like I feel like you'll want to. It's interesting because I feel like your mood. I'm just looking at the Four of Pentacles and just look at her face. The Four of Pentacles can represent resistance also. Resistance to other people's ideas. You know, kind of reminds me of a Virgo, like, I know the best way, so I'm just going to do it my own way. But yet, it's not, it's about being open at the same time. Um, it can also represent your foundation. The stronger the foundation, the better chance of anything or anyone, like if it's a relationship, of it going, into the chariot's and or into the chariot's energy, unlimited potential. But I do feel a little bit of that resistance. But I'm wondering, I feel like someone is thinking to themselves, man, I wish I could be like I used to be, carefree. I took chances. Probably all those chances didn't pay off, but that's just the way it is, right? The chances you took that didn't pay off probably taught you something. We can't win them all, but it is about getting back up. That's what in the Knight's energy, the Knight of Wands, which is again action oriented. If I think back the page right before it, I often feel the page is like my risk taker. And I do feel like the page has fallen a few times, but does get back up. This feels like you're younger, playful, passionate energy. Maybe this is how you're going to feel. I like it. Judgment is like, get ready. Something passionate is coming into your life. Knight of Wands is also fast moving energy. So, for some of you, someone could sweep you off your feet and you may not expect it. Something feels like it's going to sweep you off your feet, but in the same breath, it definitely feels meant to be. We have the Strength card. Um, I don't think I've been given any signs, but this is Cardelio, is a number 8. She's got it tattooed on her arm. Um, you know, Years and years and years ago, I forget who told me this. Someone told me to put a number 8, like on a piece of paper, and put it in my purse or put it in your wallet. It attracts abundance. I don't know if it worked or not. Um, this is about really looking within, understanding oneself, the light, the dark, all of that. Definitely overcoming. This is a personal journey. Like this is you coming into the high priestess. And then 8 is also about a new beginning. Interesting because she's half lion, half woman, but she's got this gentle little lamb on her lap. So she's all of that. She or he is all of that. Kind of like coming into the Empress or the Empress energy. That's what I feel like all of a sudden. Like I'm starting to move into that energy. I know who I am, and I probably know what I want at this point. Yet, in the same breath, I feel like, but be open to universal surprises. 8 is also the number of infinity, as above, so below. And it's mirroring the Seven of Pentacles, those soul seeds of intention. To me, sometimes it's like predestined. But let's keep going. I feel like quite a few of you have been working to, how do I say this, to not improve. Um, you've been working on your spirituality, maybe to be able to trust the signs. Remember, your spiritual team is always guiding you, always sending you signs. Um, your angels need your permission. So invite your angels in. If you like, let's say you're in the 8 of, or you're in the strength card and, you're going deep and you're trying to figure things out. Certainly feel free to ask your angels for their guidance. They will give it to you. All right. We have the 7 of Wands, 2 7s connected, 77. That may mean something to someone or more than someone. 77, I was 17. That was a good time. I remember it. 7 of Wands, though, can talk about drama. It can talk about standing one's ground, defending my actions. But I have to say, when I see this energy, I feel like this is someone who's risen above other people's drama. It's like I'm in my own little bubble, my own protection. Look how open she is, also. Um, Out of the blue, I'm getting that yoga and meditation could certainly help and may even bring you more answers than you expect. Breathing work, like I feel like anything that helps you within, probably so that you can accept what wants to come, what's new, right? But it does feel like I have to first, or I had to first, really know myself, trust myself, rise above other people's dramas, not get pulled into it, and it's mirroring the Fool. So again, a new beginning. It's like you're not taking anybody's bullshit anymore. Like, if you carry drama, then don't be around me. Just seeing now we have two kings. So we have the King of Pentacles under the King of Swords. This can certainly represent Virgo, Taurus, Capricorn, but it doesn't have to. And what I mean by that is if you just think of the energy, this king seems very chilled out. This king reminds me of my boyfriend. He's looking towards the future. And then we have the Five of Cups. Five of Cups mirroring the Chariot. All right, that makes me feel like we need to stop for a second. It's five and the Four of Pentacles above that, a nine reflection. So in the Five of Cups, because it's a five, it does talk about change, but it is you who has to make this change. Here comes this human action. So in the Five of Cups, it asks you what you're focusing on. And in the Five of Cups, I'm focusing on what I have lost. I feel like that's why this person is like being resistant, you know, like if you're going to sweep me off my feet, you better, I don't know. Like I feel her resistance. You know, it's almost like if someone new comes in, I do feel like they're going to have to, how do I say this? Almost like talk you. No, I don't know if it's talk you into, giving them an opportunity, but I don't feel like like, let's say right off the bat, you're resistant to whatever. Well, this king's holding this pentacle. I would say take your time, reflect upon it. And one of the main reasons is because when you no longer focus on what you have lost, the cups that have been knocked over, and remember, the Fool has cleared that energy, extracted the wisdom of it. So when this person makes this change, well, there's two cups that are behind this person. To me, that represents soulmates. I may not know that. I feel like a lot of this it feels kind of unexpected, but yet, how do I, like, unexpected, yet you're being guided at the same time. Trusting within your intuition seems to be the biggest thing right now. Trusting within your spiritual team. They're calling you to the present moment for a reason. So this Five of Cups, well, that is a good reason, right? Because again, if I'm focusing on what I've lost, and yet there may be a soulmate out there, do I want to keep focusing on that? I'm wondering if it's one of the kings. One of the kings may be new, one of the kings may be old. They both could be coming back. Oh, interesting. I just said back. Well, let's keep going. Let's see what follows it. Ace of Swords. Ring, ring. How are you? I'm good. How are you? I'm good. It's almost like a conversation starts up and turns passionate very quickly. Or let me put it another way. This feels like it's someone reaching out, um, communicating with you, and it kind of feels like I'm surprised by this. And I feel like it opens up with a simple conversation, like a simple hi, how have you been type energy. But I feel you, and probably them too, will feel like butterflies and excitement. I don't know that you'll express it. I feel like they will. Because again, I feel like in a way, it's like you need swept off your feet, maybe to really believe, I don't know, in love again. It's almost like intuitively they know that it won't be that easy to win you over. However, I kind of feel you will be won over. Of course, that will be your free will decision. But I feel it. I feel it. We have the Eight of Cups. 88, 77. Look at that. And then the Tower. Okay, so don't freak out. So, the Tower means something ended. But I feel like you ended it because it's coming out with the Eight of Cups. This is the perfect energy we need right now because I do feel like there is some resistance. And if there's resistance, it's probably due to like past relationships, past experiences. But this is someone, I love the Strength card and then the Eight of Cups together because it's saying that you are finding this emotional clarity, that you're not allowing your past, especially emotional situations, to have any weight within your present or future energy. This is you heading to the Nine of Cups, which is inner harmony and fulfillment of wishes. This is you walking away from the drama. And I feel like this is you giving someone the Tower, which just means probably ending something, or you already have. Now, some of you, maybe someone gave you a tower and it's taking you some time to overcome that. Because again, I do feel the resistance. Yet at the same time, I feel I'm not going to say that that I have to have love in my life. Even though Pisces, I do feel like you do like to have love in your life. Um, and you're usually really good in love, but not everyone's going to appreciate that. And I know different Pisces are different. I know that because I can already see like some reading some comments saying, well, not my Pisces. Um, but nonetheless, it just feels like this, however the tower happened, someone gave you a tower. I feel because the Eight of Cups and the Strength card, it is no longer having an effect on you. Sometimes, especially with this beautiful energy we began with, these tower moments, they're difficult, yes. But sometimes these tower moments are exactly what moves us into these new beginnings, into a life that we really didn't expect, but probably you're going to love it. All right, let's see what's on the bottom of the deck. The beautiful Knight of Pentacles. So, the Knight of Pentacles, interesting because it's like a pause for a second. Knight of Pentacles is a slow moving knight. I feel it's a guardian angel energy, especially with judgment out. Knight of Pentacles tells you I come at the right time, not before, not after. And why is that? Because what I bring you are these pentacles. And I love this image because I often feel in the Knight of Pentacles energy, it's not a one time thing. It's not a one time, oh. Hello, Ace of Cups underneath the Knight, and then the Star, your hopes, your dreams, your wishes. And look at this, the Ten of Swords. So I feel like this Ten of Swords, which means dagger after dagger in your back, it can also represent a repeat pattern with someone, and you want to ask yourself, like, if I keep getting tempted back to like the same type of energy, first of all, why am I expecting any different results? Now, I'm not saying people can't evolve. People can evolve, but not everyone does. Because I feel like you're wishing for something else. You're not wishing for the Ten Swords, and love is part of it. And the Knight of Pentacles is the vehicle that brings it in. So the Knight of Pentacles says, I come at the right time, when you will take advantage of the blessings that I bring. Hmm. Can we help this Knight come in sooner versus later? Absolutely. It's kind of showing us how, right? First of all, is being called to the present moment. It's no longer allowing previous towers to determine what your future or your present's going to look like. It really does feel like being open to whatever the universe wants to supply. And now we know that part of it is love. Even this King of Pentacles is holding one of these pentacles. This could be someone of your future, could have also been of your past. I know that probably confused some people. And what I mean by that is this could be someone that you know. Could even be someone you've been in a relationship with. But here's the one thing. This wouldn't be someone who carries toxic energy with them, because this is what you've cleared. This is what you've overcome. So any new that's coming in already feels like they themselves have evolved. And if someone comes in who hasn't, let's say two people are coming in, we have two kings. Maybe one's evolved, one hasn't. Your intuition's going to let you know that. That's what your spiritual team is saying. Like, we're going to make it very, very clear. And don't go back to anything that you know, that the potential of just ending up in a tower um, is very possible again. And I feel like that's only if I don't pay attention to my intuition. So let me put it a different way. Because we had the Ten of Swords, it does mean that you dealt with someone or a situation where you're the one who took all the daggers in your back. I often read that as a repeat pattern. Someone charming that just keeps pulling me back in. I'm the one who has to break that, like breaking a curse. But you can. Okay. Let's bring in the Gilded Tarot. So, I mean, I love what I'm seeing. And, if it was all just lovey dovey, then that wouldn't be real life, right? But because it's showing like what you've been through, the things that you've overcome, how I feel like in the strength card, when you do dive deep, it is courage. Like, you have this sense of courage that you never lose. Anyway, All right. We're going to start at the beginning, but we're reading it as a whole. What I mean by that is I feel like all the cards are telling us a story together. So let's continue. Let's go deeper. See where the Fool's headed. Again, it is of a destined time. All right, Five of Swords. Well, that is not where the Fool's headed. So this must be what the Fool has cleared. I feel like it relates back to that Ten of Swords. Some of you have broken yourself free from some patterns. It doesn't even have to be with a person. It could just be patterns within your own life. But now you see them. Now you know them. And you can't deny it any longer. I don't feel like the Fool has any interest in connecting with this energy. If anything, the Fool's already cleared this energy. And maybe that was part of what the Knight of Pentacles was waiting for. Again, I come at the right time. And that just means when you can best use the gifts that the Knight of Pentacles brings in. Okay. But listen, because the Five of Pentacles is also coming over the Seven of Pentacles, or the Five of Swords, I'm sorry, is coming over the Seven of Pentacles, then that means there was something to learn within that energy. And, sometimes I feel like when you see the Ten of Swords, the best thing I can learn is I don't have to take this. I don't have to keep taking these daggers. But I do have to make human movement away from it. I have to no longer accept it, right? Got to create boundaries. And I don't mean boundaries that nobody can cross. I mean boundaries that lower vibrational energy cannot cross. Hello, star. So, we saw the star under here, right next to the Ace of Cups. Now the star has made it to the table. Your hopes, your dreams, your wishes. I love that it's connecting the magician or coming over the magician. It's also coming over the King of Swords. Now, I could certainly represent an Aquarius, but I'm not going to just leave it at that. It can be anybody. But that is Aquarius's major arcana. It's interesting because I feel like this King of Pentacles has a lot to offer. Yet the star comes over the King of Swords. Hmm. And maybe it's just different people for different people. They each represent something. The King of Swords represents integrity. Mother Mary brought out integrity. The King of Swords represents communication. Someone who's learned the art of communication because he's reached a mountaintop. I feel like he has learned that. He knows how to communicate, probably in a loving way. Probably something he had to learn. Nine of Swords coming over that resistant energy I felt. That's worry. And look what happens because of that worry. The Hangman. It's like, slow down, you move too fast. Wow. I shouldn't have said wow. So the Nine of Swords, it's interesting because it's like, I want my dreams to come true, but at the same time, I am worried. And I feel like what you're worried about is you don't want a repeat pattern. So it makes me feel good that at least you're thinking about that. The Nine of Swords really represents unnecessary worry. And that worry seems to put a hold on the energy that wants to come in. Remember, we're in a universal year nine. So any nines we see, we definitely want to pay attention to. This type of worry can definitely affect your health. And again, it's unnecessary. It could mean or represent that some past energy hasn't been cleared. I feel like our humanness naturally gets a little nervous after, especially if we had some relationships that didn't turn out so well, did become toxic. But I don't feel like there's any, at this point, I don't feel like there's anyone toxic on the board. So that definitely feels of your past. And then we have the Page of Cups. That's like your inner child. And think about that. Your inner child really wants to live unencumbered. But a lot of, especially relating to love, we take a lot of the heaviness within our inner child. This is where many times we need that healing, is the inner child. And it is so that we can get back to our, well, loving, playful selves. Page of Cups is mirroring that Five of Swords. So that makes sense. Um, I just simply feel that there's someone coming in, and I feel like there's certain things that they're going to have to help you overcome. Well, I'm saying help you overcome. I really feel like you can do this on your own. And I don't feel like just because the hangman's here, it stops whatever's coming in. It still comes in. Judgment's telling you that. The fool's telling you that. But what also is happening is as it comes in, it brings up that worry factor. You can overcome that. It can be overthinking something also. And another thing I want to say, if this is relating to love, and you yourself have really looked within and, you spent that time to allow your inner child to heal, to bring yourself back to you, then I feel like that worry goes away. I think what we got to remember is we can always change courses. I don't think you're going to want to. And the only reason I'm really saying that is to give you a sense of comfort. The high priestess connected to that inner child of yours. Age can also represent younger energy. And I do feel like, it's representing you, but it could also represent someone else. Page is also, to me, the energy that's in the atmosphere. So being of cups makes sense because we saw the Ace of Cups. Love is in the air. Seven of Swords over the Seven of Wands. Look how we're getting the difficult cards over here. In the clearing of it over here. So, Seven of Wands defending your ground against the Seven of Swords. Well, Seven of Swords, that's coming right underneath the Five of Swords. Ugh, that's difficult energy. That's someone who was difficult. I often feel that for some, this can be like narcissistic type energy. Someone you dealt with who, um, was probably very difficult. But this is still you rising above it. Again, some of you may have two people coming in. One may, they both may be someone that you already know. I don't know why I'm saying that. Um, but I do feel like one at least, maybe some, it could be again that repeat pattern, wanting to like come around. It's almost like the universe is testing you. Will she or he say no this time? Will he or she know that they deserve better? Seven of Swords, that's energy that would drive me crazy because I feel like it's energy of someone who probably lies a lot. Again, coming over the Seven of Swords, like defending my actions. Well, you may have asked someone to, like defend their actions. Like, where have you been? What have you been doing? I feel in the Seven of Swords, people, they will tell you what you want to hear versus the truth. And another reason for boundaries from Mother Mary. So I feel like this person's got to go. It has to be up to you. But I do feel like, if, let's say, they come back in, to me, it feels like there is no change. So it would just be another repeat of the tower. It is up to you. All right, well, let's keep going. By the way, the King of Pentacles has his back towards all this energy. So I don't feel like it's him either. Like, I don't feel like it's either of these kings that have caused heartache or, that was untrustworthy. Um, Now, they could have been in their younger days, but they're showing as kings. And to me, that means that they've mastered, what it is they're here to master. The King of Swords, communication. King of Pentacles, to me, it's stability, loyalty. Eight of Cups right there. It's where you're finding that emotional clarity. And now you found that inner harmony. Big difference between the Nine of Swords. Big difference. Some of you, it could signify that you are now single and maybe even love your life that way. I'm not feeling like anyone is like looking. Maybe some are, but I don't feel like I'm like out there actively looking for love. But if love is going to arrive, this is the perfect energy for it to arrive in. Because remember, this is also about fulfilling a wish. Well, you have the Star card right above it. And it's coming over the nine, or I'm sorry, it's coming over this King of Pentacles. So I can't say anything bad about him. We have the Seven of Wands over the Five of Cups. Well, We have to tie that back to the Seven of Swords with this Seven of Wands. Now, this Seven of Wands is coming over the Five of Cups. Again, the energy, emotional energy where I may look at it of like what I have lost, but really, what have you lost? And, I feel like this is more about what you're going to be gaining versus what you've lost. Over and over, I just feel like, let's just put it this way, if there's someone who has your heart, but they don't deserve it, they're not giving you the actions that you deserve in love. What are they doing? They're making you crazy. Feel crazy is what I meant. Three cups over this Ace of Swords. Nice. And then ultimately the Hermit, which is beautiful. Card of Virgo. This king could certainly be a Virgo. Doesn't have to be though. This is about your wisdom. I often feel the hermit goes through that dark night of the soul, probably more than once. Um, and the hermit really is seeking light, right? Spiritual answers to use on this earthly plane. I feel the hermit is an old soul. So having the ability to pick up on messages. And I also feel that your own experiences help you help others. Because once you know, you know. This is shining your light for others. And there's someone picking up on it. This is about the growth that you've had. And I feel proud of you. Three of Cups right before that. Wow. That's a reason to celebrate. And it's coming over the Ace of Swords. Communication. Truthful communication. It's the energy of joy. I'm just realizing the Hermit's got his back to the Seven of Swords. So it is like your spiritual wisdom that you've gained um, through some difficult experiences, but you have gained that wisdom. The ability to overcome what is no longer serving you, who is no longer serving you, who doesn't want to change, who's more than happy to live in lower vibrational energy where you are trying to raise your vibration. That's what I felt earlier. Like many of you have been working on that, like your spirituality, working with your spiritual team, knowing that, I can either stay in this old energy or I can rise above it. And I feel like that's exactly what you're doing. You know, the worry that's on the board again is unnecessary, but I do feel like that's our human mind, not our spiritual mind, our human mind. All right, I think I want to take some cards below also. Or you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to bring these down and I'm going to go in between and see what connects everything. I also want to say, when I look at the magician, I think of you and I think of all the things that you can manifest. What is it you want to manifest? But it does require that you allow yourself to have a new beginning at the same time. But the power of the magician, especially with the star right there, knowing that you can bring to fruition these dreams, these hopes, these wishes. We have the devil, card of Capricorn, but it does talk about temptation. And it's exactly what I felt with someone of yesteryear. Couldn't even be current energy, but it does feel like someone that I kept getting tempted back to. And they probably just kept breaking my heart. Why? Well, when I see the devil, and if it's not Capricorn, I, especially with the Seven of Swords right there and the Five of Swords above it, it definitely feels like that repeat pattern. The devil speaks about illusions, and sometimes that illusion can be that I'm stuck, right? Or that this person who's treating me like shit is a soulmate and I'm meant to be with this person. But are you really? Because this really isn't the way love is meant to look. Now, maybe your soul wanted to have this experience to prove to yourself that you can overcome this energy. I feel like it was difficult, no doubt. And I'm understanding more and more this resistance. Yet I'm hoping that you don't settle for that. Hello, beautiful Empress. Well, no way would the Empress settle for this energy. No way. The Empress is the mother figure. Some of you could certainly be a single mom with this energy, or even a single father. The Empress is, what has she learned through her experiences? How to keep her heart open, how to stay loving and nurturing. It's her natural energy, it's your natural energy. This is someone who's had a lot of probably difficult experiences, but really has learned. She learns to extract the wisdom of her experiences and doesn't allow them to weigh her down. She's very creative. I just want to say if anyone comes in or even back who still carries that toxic energy, there's no way the Empress would invite that energy in. There's no way the Empress wouldn't feel that energy. So, if someone who carries toxicity within their heart, let's say, tries to approach this Empress, first of all, I feel like it'd be very hard for them because just the difference in energy alone. I feel like some of you are making it clear to someone that you are done, that you are done. But I don't feel like you're carrying, or at least I hope. Well, I was going to say that you're carrying like heartache or fear because the Empress doesn't carry that energy. That's probably what the Strength card in the Eight of Cups was talking about. That's probably how you reach the energy of the Empress. Remember, you have that energy within you. It's just bringing it out now. So again, it feels like there's a reason to keep your heart open. Now, Again, you can always say yes or no, but this Empress, I mean, she's coming over both the kings. She's got the star above her and the Nine of Cups below her. Well, that's the energy that the Empress lives in, the Nine of Cups. Doesn't mean that everything in my life is going great. It just means I'm not going to allow, you know, I don't know, anything that doesn't help me to evolve, then I just don't feel like I'm interested. Now, the Empress is also very compassionate and empathetic, so she does care about her fellow man and woman and definitely wants to help. But she has learned who to help, who not to help. Maybe I wanted to help this person over here who carried, again, untrustworthy, toxic energy that I kept getting tempted back to. Maybe I thought I could help them, but I feel like I can't because they don't want the help. They're not seeing an issue. It's almost like if I had a conversation with them and said, I want to help you to become a better person, they'd be like, what's wrong with me? There's nothing wrong with me. There's something wrong with you. You know what I mean? And if that someone says that to the Empress be like, okay, goodbye. All right, we have justice. Hmm. Using that sword of justice to clear away the clutter, to clear away whatever is not serving you. When justice shows, it makes me think of a couple things. The first thing I think of is balance. Do I feel balanced? And if I don't feel balanced, what's keeping me unbalanced? Because it's the ability to use the sword of justice to cut whatever ties that just are no longer working. Justice is about making you whole again. It's coming over the Five of Cups. Tie me right back again to this person. But I also want to remind you, though, that when you do use that sword, especially over the Five of Cups, what does it ultimately produce? Two cups, soulmate energy. So we know one of these kings are a soulmate. We have the Nine of Pentacles, independent energy, successful self employment. This is great energy for some of you may receive a call out of the blue and, it could be an opportunity. I love the Empress with the Nine of Pentacles also because she is very creative energy. And especially with the Hermit right below it. Two cards of Virgo, by the way. Um, but it's like using my spirituality, building a business. In the Nine of Pentacles energy, I feel strong on my own 2 feet. And I feel like that's an important thing. Nine of Cups, I have this inner harmony now. Nine of Pentacles, I can do it on my own. I really don't need anybody to help me. It's not that the Empress wouldn't welcome, like, someone else who also is, working on their abundance, so to speak, creating within their field. But connected to the Hermit, it does kind of feel spiritual. We have the Eight of Cups again. And then we have another king. Now we have the King of Wands. Now, this king is falling over all this difficult energy. So I feel like this king may have promised me the world, but delivered none. This king is normally a king of action, but I feel like this king thought more about oneself than anybody else. I feel like the stronger you feel within yourself in all areas of your life, but even in your finances, I feel the less bullshit you take. When you feel strong, then you don't take other people's bullshit. Because that's what this king is selling. He's selling you a line of bullshit. Excuse my language. Now, doesn't have to mean it's a fire sign. Because what I'm really feeling is this king didn't put action behind their words. Again, I could have told you that I love you and I want to spend the rest of my life with you. And then I turn around and I ghost you, or I go out all the time. You never know where I'm at. And then I question you about it, and all you do is tell me lies. Tell me sweet little lies. Tell me lies. But what's mirroring this king is that Eight of Cups again. So this is the king that's going bye-bye. Hopefully. I won't say that he won't make a repeat appearance, but because now I'm seeing the Empress, there's no way I feel like the Empress would take this energy back. No way. I've come too far. I feel too good. I feel independent. I feel strong within myself. Well, that's a vibration. And that means that when you put that vibration out into the universe knows it must meet you in that vibration. The Empress is of a higher vibrational energy. So whatever she manifests with the Magician, part of her dreams, she will manifest it of a high vibration. Your spiritual team wouldn't even ask you to consider this energy if it wasn't good, if it didn't feel like a blessing. And I have to say, again, I feel like this Ace of Swords is communication. I don't feel like you expect it. And I feel immediately it does bring joy to your heart and butterflies. It almost makes you feel like a kid again, but in the loveliest of ways. Okay, goodbye, King. Hello, new kings. Now, male or female, by the way. I say that because, you know, I don't want the men who watch your reading to think that I forget about you. I don't forget about you. And I feel like the Empress could be male or female. It's just someone who has learned not to shut their heart down. And it's probably something I had to learn. All right, let's bring in, before we bring in the romance angels, let's bring in the clarifying love situation. Situations. And then we'll bring in the romance angels because it's definitely calling for it. Resilient roots. Endure the storms, protect your core, and grow stronger with each challenge. Endure the storms you have, protect your core, and grow stronger with each challenge. It's exactly what it feels like is happening in the Empress's energy. See if anything else wants to come out. One more shuffle. Okay. Refreshed romance. Cleanse past sorrows. Be charmed anew and embrace the joy of a fling. Oh, cleanse past sorrows. You've done that, or you're doing that. Be charmed anew. New. There's a lot of new. And embrace the joy of a fling. Now, do I feel like this is just going to be a fling? I don't. But maybe that's how it starts. You know what I mean? Um, because it's asking you to allow yourself to be charmed. Remember how in the beginning I said I felt like someone's going to sweep you off your feet? Look at this. I just realized right above it, swept away, caught up in the romance or clearing out emotions. Interesting. And then we have wishful thinking. Having lofty ideas leads to a letdown. Be realistic. Be realistic. Okay, let's pick those up and let's bring in the romance angels. So I feel like we have old love, we have new love. For some of you, potentially someone is coming back from your past. Well, one can be, let's just call them a narcissist, or at least they have narcissistic tendencies. But another, especially because the Knight of Pentacles is bringing in the Ace of Cups. Well, it feels like true love. Passion. Allow your heart and soul to sing with joy. Joy. Engagement. Your love life is ascending to a higher level of commitment. Your love life is ascending to a higher level of commitment. Commitment back here? Uh-uh. I might have said that I'm committed, but my actions show the opposite. Committed here? I hope so. Because this feels right. And then chemistry. Well, here comes the butterflies. There's a strong magnetic attraction here. There's the butterflies. I mean, passion. Well, that's what the Knight of Wands is. So it's coming in. And it's asking you just to allow yourself to enjoy it the way it's going to feel. Again, it's going to cause these butterflies. It's going to cause, I feel like, oh my gosh, I feel like a kid again. And then chemistry. Well, that's just undeniable. What a difference a relationship can make. Don't regret this energy every year because I feel like it's what really put you into the Empress's energy because you're able to clear it. Some of you are still clearing it. And if you are, then look at this as a potential that exists. You know, sometimes we can miss someone who we know is not good for us, but usually that's when we're having like this lonely moment. Don't allow yourself to get pulled into it. I know this energy. I've told this story a few times, but I feel like this is the perfect place to tell it one more time. When, before Sam and I mean, many of you know Sam and I dated as teenagers and then broke up and then went on and lived our own lives. And then 40 years later, right, it was 2 weeks after I broke up with the person I was with for 25 years, I got myself an apartment. And then I was having this weak moment, which I don't get very often, to be honest. I normally don't get lonely. I don't know if that's a good thing or not. But anyways, during this weak moment, I picked up the phone and I called my ex and I was going to invite him over just for company. And then when I was talking to him, my call waiting beeped in and I picked it up. Hello. And next thing I know, someone starts singing Night Moves by Bob Seger. Immediately I knew it was Sam because that was our song. And I said, hang on. I went to the other call and I said, never mind. I don't need you to come over. And he's like, why? Why? I'm like, just never mind. I'm done. I'm done. Hung up with him. And from that moment on, and I lived in a different state than Sam. I lived in Rhode Island. He was in Pennsylvania, my hometown or my home state. Um, but, you know, we lived about 500 miles away. So we spent quite a few years talking on the phone before I made that ultimate commitment. And why didn't I make that commitment sooner? The Nine of Swords, the worry. But it was more for me like knowing because he wanted me to move in with him, which meant I had to leave Rhode Island. And I loved Rhode Island. I had to leave my family. That was hard. But I felt that my son, who has crossed over, was pulling us together. And, you know, someone asked me once, what made Sam reach out and call you? So I asked him, I'm like, what made you reach out and call me? He said, God put it in his heart. I'm going to accept that. You know what I mean? Um, and the only reason I'm telling you all this is because I feel like this may be what happens for some of you. And that Nine of Swords may raise its ugly head. However, I don't feel, well, I feel this person will bring you like a level of comfort that maybe you just never felt before, a level of commitment. We already know that. Your love life is ascending to a higher level of commitment. Why? Because you yourself have ascended to a higher level. It's just the universe meeting you right where you're at. I know I deserve the highest form of love. Therefore, I need to be able to give that same love back. Universe hears you and is like, their ears pop open, pop up, and they're like, that's our signal. That's our signal. Wow. I'm just going to take one more round. Healing family issues. Your love life benefits as you forgive your parents. You know, the first thing I felt with it like this, or with this, is for some of you, this person who carried this heaviness, this toxicity, They could have reminded you of one of your parents. That is also my story. I love my dad dearly. My dad's crossed over. I was a daddy's girl. And then my parents got divorced, and I just didn't see him that much anymore. So the first person, well, I only got married once, but the person I ended up marrying way too young, at 19, carried all the bad traits that my dad carried. My dad cheated a lot on my mom. And my ex-husband started cheating on me within 6 months of our marriage. What was I thinking? Right? Attraction. You attract romantic love by enjoying this moment fully, judgment and the full, and then make the effort. Great love is worth taking the steps you're guided to take, guided through your spiritual team, through your intuition. It's like all you need to do is jump into the fool's energy. Know that you have the ability to manifest. Understand that it's your seeds of intention that are really going to determine what your life is going to look like. Your future. It really is representing the unlimited potential you have here. And that's why I feel like I don't want to look back and be like, what, you can say, like, what the hell was I thinking? But there was probably something very, I feel like that's probably what helped you raise your vibration. But this is telling you great love is coming in, and great love is worth taking the steps you're guided to take. Your love life is ascending to a higher level of commitment. So I feel like who's ever coming in, whatever they have to say, they're being truthful. And let's remember, that's what the Ace of Swords means. It's communication, yes, but it's also truthful communication. It's of integrity. And I feel like I'm trying to talk you into something now. This is your decision. And will it happen exactly the way that the way it's laid out? For some of you, yes. But if you skip over, this is why I feel like you need to watch a reading to the end, because I feel like that's where we start to see the blessings. But I feel like your spiritual team wants you to be proud of everything that you've overcome in your life, because it truly has made you stronger. And if I can look at it that way, this was difficult, this was hard, but look at me. I overcame it. I started a new life. Some of you may have divorced, you may be a single parent, but it feels like, again, you found this inner harmony. Well, that feels like the perfect time to bring in great love. And you can always say no. I feel like we need to take one more Mother Mary card over this reading. I'm going to give her a cut since we are introducing her into this reading. Action. Action. Today, I take action related to the priorities that I have previously put off. Action. Love, love, love. Love is the answer to all of my questions. Action, love, trust. I know that God, in His infinite wisdom and love, is answering my prayers right now. Yes, they are. Now it's going to take your human action, but we know it's relating to love now. And then compassion. Well, that's what the Empress carries. I see and feel others' points of view with forgiveness and kindness. You know, I had been with someone who carried the Seven of Swords energy, who really, and I'm not talking about my ex-husband, I'm talking about after him, because I was in kind of low energy, um, the lower vibration. I didn't even really know about my spirituality at this point. I was quite young. Um, but I did end up with someone who was really abusive. And it's funny because I kept looking for someone to save me. And the day came where it was me who saved me. And I could have done that all along. That's kind of what the devil does. It casts that illusion that you're stuck when you're really not. And it's interesting because the minute I ended that, I actually moved back to my hometown. It ended it. Like there was no more abuse. Well, because I no longer saw that person. I didn't even tell him I was leaving. I just left. I grabbed my children, grabbed a couple suitcases, and we left. And that was that. So, anyways, I'm saying that because I did find a way to forgive him. And I did not call him and forgive him. I just forgave within my own heart. And I'll tell you why. Because I knew that his dad abused his mother. I saw it. And he was following suit. He was following his own father's actions. And I even went up to his father one day, screaming and yelling, saying, "Look what you created. Because you abused Phyllis," which was his wife's name. "Now your son abuses me and has abused the woman before him and will probably abuse the woman after." It's interesting. I found out he passed away. What something made me look him up one day, and it said that his girlfriend Sandy was by his side, and it drove me crazy. I'm like, oh my god, he connected with another Sandy after me. That ugh. Anyway, so it's like that's what I feel compassion is talking about. Like sometimes these people come from this lower vibrational energy, and I'm not saying go back with them because I don't feel like that's the answer, but I feel like it's not carrying that energy with you. You know, um, we have to find a way to let go. And, the fool doesn't carry regret on this next journey. Why? Well, probably because the fool's taken the time, at least to understand it from the fool's point of view. And you don't have to forgive, that's up to you. But it definitely does serve you. All right, guys, I think I'm going to leave it there. I think this turned out longer than I even expected. But I thank you. I love you. Again, I want to wish those celebrating a birthday a happy birthday. I hope this is the best birthday yet. I want to remind you one more time that we are in this universal year nine. This is the end of a 9-year cycle. It began in 2017. So you can look from 2017 to today's energy. What have you cleared? How have you grown? It's about really being proud of the person you are today, even if you don't feel like you're completely where you want to be. At least you're heading that way. So, the final push, clearing up the cobwebs so that new can come in. I love you guys. I thank you. I'll see you next time at our table. Bye bye.